On behalf of Aaron Johnson and Mike Summers, the President and Vice President of MoSelf Harrisburg RBI, I want to welcome you to the 2013 Harrisburg RBI Banquet. Yay! It is not every day when you can have an opportunity to stand in a room full of champions. Congratulations to the three-time Mid-Atlantic RBI championship teams, both baseball and softball. And I would be remiss if I did not congratulate our first-time 2013 World RBI champions, the Harrisburg Senior Softball baseball team. The purpose of the Harrisburg, or not even just Harrisburg, but the RBI program is to increase participation in baseball and softball, also to encourage academic participation and achievement, increase talent for college and minor league play, promote greater inclusion of diversity, and teach the value of teamwork. I think that this room is filled with a lot of students and players who exemplify the mission and the purpose of the RBI program. And without further ado, I would like to call the Honorable Mayor Linda Thompson to come up and provide some words of encouragement.
Mics, they're always bigger than me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You are so, you had a long day at work, and this room should be full of excitement and energy because of what our youth have achieved. So hopefully as we move through the program, we'll all loosen up and be prepared to give our kids what they really deserve, a round of applause and just a standing ovation. So I'm honored to be here. Good evening, and I'm so pleased to be with you this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of our young ladies and gentlemen who represent MoSelf. And I said to Aaron that, I'm going to change this, men of the Southeast League field when we got women playing in this. So, I'm going to make it official right now here. There's going to be women of the Southeast League field. Right, girls? Girl power? Girl power? So we're honored to be here at the 2013 Reviving Baseball Inner Cities event, World Series in Minnesota. We are also so proud of these young student athletes from Harrisburg and surrounding communities who competed in a professional atmosphere, enjoyed exposure to other young athletes from around the United States and the world, and brought home the gold. Young people, you should know that the city and the region followed your track to Minnesota and kept up with every game. Folks were rooting for you as if we were right there at the game. We followed the girls' team as they entered the competition as a #1 seed and successfully completed all the way to their final play in the semifinals, where unfortunately Houston, Texas won with a final score of 1-0. So I say, ladies, with a score that low, it sounds like you were really giving them a tough way to go. We are so proud of the young ladies and encourage them to stay focused and continue to prepare for next year's competition, and I'm sure they'll bring home the gold next year too. As for the boys team, well, we are so proud of the 2013 RBI Senior Baseball Division World Series champions! MoSelf, Harrisburg's RBI boys. Your journey was reported daily on the news, and again, we cheered for our team. How exciting for little Harrisburg to defeat some of baseball's big dogs like Venezuela and Venice Beach, and then that came from behind game with the 4-3 win against Tampa RBI for the championship. Wow, what a great job. It just doesn't get any better. It just does not get any better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause and a standing ovation, if you will, for the 2013 RBI Senior Boys Baseball Division World Series champions. If we don't encourage them, if we don't edify them, somebody else will, and that somebody else may not have their interests at heart. So tonight I extend a special thanks to RBI's President, Aaron Johnson, the team's manager. Congratulations, Aaron. You know, Aaron's an amazing guy. He is the Deputy Director of our Public Works Department for the city of Harrisburg. And it just amazes me how he does that job with such finesse and such commitment, and yet he still has time, because that's a grueling job. I mean, that is boots on the ground. You got Miss Johnson calling you, you got Barbara calling you got Shanika calling you got the mayor calling you, and it's all about cleaning up the trash, keeping the streets clean, going after the slum landlords and the illegal dumpers. And Aaron is up front from cleaning off the city island, and yet he still has time in that exhausted body to still go out and say yes to the kids. That's an extraordinary man, and we thank Aaron. We also find it not robbery to acknowledge other team leaders such as Rob Martin and the outstanding coaching staff. And I'm sorry, I'm probably going to miss some names, but you know who you are: Chuck Fackler and Mark McClintock, and excuse me if I'm mispronouncing your word, McClintock, and Dwight Rogers and Joe Solanowski and Jason Konovic. All of you deserve a dedicated round of applause as well as all the other coaches. And I know that Aaron will come up here, and Aaron will have the list that I don't have completed to acknowledge all you coaches. So hold to your seats, because you will be acknowledged. All of you who have dedicated their time and resources to prepare these young people for competition at the highest level. We truly appreciate your commitment and your presence and positive role models for young people in our community. We also thank the parents always. You have supported the young people, the young children, your children, and their journey, and you ought to be commended and applauded for that, because it's tough raising kids today. It's tough keeping them focused. It's tough running behind them, but you ought to be commended as well, parents. The parents, the coaches, and the Most Self organization join me in celebrating the success of our baseball and softball teams right now, again. But this is to you, young people. Please understand that it's not just about playing baseball and softball. The RBI program and the experience you enjoyed in Minnesota are stepping stones. Those stepping stones are designed to encourage academic success, teach the value of teamwork, and the other important life lessons. This is a stepping stone to life in preparation for the next level. Young student athletes like yourselves have opportunities for scholarships to college, positions of leadership in school, in the community, and wonderful careers in the field of your choice, because the recognition of accomplishments on the playing field. However, the athleticism will be only one part of the equation. Decisions about who gets those opportunities will be based on an assessment of individuals' pursuit of excellence in terms of your athletic ability, educational ability, achievement, and character. This year alone, 15 RBI program alumni were selected in the 2013 Major League Baseball draft. You can be certain that those players were evaluated and achieved success based on many factors, including character. Character is who you are and how you behave on and off the playing field, at school, with friends and family, and when no one is looking. So guard always your character, because you never know who is watching. So today I encourage you to pursue excellence in all areas of your lives, be successful athletically, be an outstanding student in the classroom, and living an upstanding, responsible, and respectful life. If you do those things, I know that we will see names of members of the 2013 Mo-South Harrisburg RBI team as leaders, scholars, major college players, and on the roster of Major League Baseball teams in the future. So again, I congratulate you, the RBI teams, and the entire Mo-South organization, the girls softball team, of this accomplishment. Congratulations, and God bless you, all of your families, and all that you do in the future to represent your families and this community and this region. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, I know the mayor has another prior engagement, so Mayor Thompson, if you come up here, we want to give you a little something on behalf of the program. It had yours in the wrapper. I'm going to give you a little small token of our appreciation. That's your name, and then you got your own authentic jacket of the World Series champions.
Where's the shirt that I asked for that you had on the other day?
You got to get that at a later date.
Oh, ain't that something? Wasn't in the budget, huh? Thank you. It's been an honor supporting you. God bless you, and continue to do what you do for the kids.
At this time, we'll have a solo presented by Joy Christian and the invocation and the blessing of the food by Vice President Mike Summers.
I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny, and in that one moment of time I will feel eternity. You're a winner for a lifetime if you seize that one moment in time, make it shine. Give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away and the answers are all up to me. Just give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny, and in that one moment of time I will feel I will be free. I will be free.
I have the ultimate pleasure of doing the invocation along with the blessing of the food. Before I get into that, I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to all of our teams that went to Minnesota and represented us this year. We are so proud of you that words just cannot begin to explain how we feel. And I think one of the best things about today is looking over to my left at that banner right there that says RBI World Series champions. First time. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to wake up this morning. We thank you for being who you are and doing all the things that you're doing in our lives. We thank you for the talent of these talented young people that are assembled here today, that they are able to do everything that they want to do, that they're able to do, all because of your mercy. We thank you for the food that we are about to receive. We pray you to give us strength and nourishment to our bodies. In Jesus' name, amen.
At this time, we will have coaches' reflections and team presentations, so we will begin with the junior team coaches.
Just a few comments on this year. We had 4 returning players from last year, so we had 11 new guys, and they really came together as a group. I think most of them knew each other going into RBI, so that was a big help, getting them to gel. We had a good time. I had the opportunity to coach some kids that, of guys that I grew up with or played against as a kid. So that's always, something nice to get to see, guys that I played with growing up and their kids and what they're doing and the direction they're going in. But we had a great group of kids. Out in Minnesota, we had a tough loss in the quarterfinals, and they very easily could have, turned the other cheek and got more angry. But they handled the defeat very well. And then the next day they were there for the senior team. So, it was good to see them. They were all there by the dugout, screaming and hollering for the senior kids. So it was nice that we were able to be there for that experience.
Quick funny story about Coach Addicks. We were in our committee meeting at one committee meeting, and as we were trying to, determine whether or not we had our players identified and everything, and I looked at Coach Ken and I said, "Ken, do you have your players?" He said, "We have hats." No players, but we have hats. And this was like, 3 weeks before we had them? Right. So we only had 3 weeks, but we had hats, but we didn't have players, so thank you.
I'll try to do 2 things, because once I get started, I might be up here for a while.
I'll drag you.
So pull me away, yeah. And the other thing is, I'll try not to cry. My kids, they're always busting on me because I'm emotional. But a lot of stuff happens during this time that's beyond baseball, and that's kind of why I love doing this. But let me just give you a little brief history and kind of run through this quick, because I had some thoughts that I'd really like to share, not just about me personally as a coach or with our junior team, but with kind of the whole experience. 5 years ago, Ken and I were coaching a 13-year-old teener game out in Palmyra, and Coach Red Dutrell, if anybody, I'm sure a lot of you know him, he said, "Hey, you guys want to help coach this RBI team?" I'm like, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's like Major League Baseball. And if any of you know Red, I'm like, you gotta take what he says and divide it by 5 and subtract some, and then you might get the real story." So anyway, I'm like, "What?" He said, "Well, yeah, that'd be fun." So Ken and I said we didn't have any idea what it was about. So to try to shorten that up, we got involved with this, and he said it's about reviving baseball in the inner cities. And I grew up in the city for a little part of my childhood, and I played baseball down at the South League field where they just redid the field at the boys club. And I played for a team called Bot Boy. And believe it or not, I still had a wool uniform, and I'm allergic to wool. But I worked through it somehow, some way. I wore sweatpants or something underneath it. But so it was a time in my life when I was coaching Josh, and I said, I'd really like to be involved in that, not for any accolades that it could bring upon me or our teams, but just to be able, because when I played baseball, Harrisburg had great baseball teams, and it's really it's very sad. It was sad to me to see that, you know, nobody plays baseball. I mean, there are some, but like not the way it used to be. Like, but football and basketball are just really thriving. So I thought that'd be a great opportunity for me and to try to give back and to do something that I really love. And so we did that, and that was 5 years ago. And I'd first of all just like to thank all of the management of myself, Aaron and Mike and Dell and any others that I may not know about behind the scenes. It's been a phenomenal experience for me personally, and I'm grateful that I've got the opportunity to do so. And you guys do so much that people don't even have any idea about, and it's very inspiring to me. Number one. So thank you very much for allowing us and all these coaches to have that experience with these kids, first and foremostly. The other thing I'd like to do is, for the players that are here and their parents, I'd like to thank all of you guys for all the dedication you have. You guys play a phenomenal amount of baseball, and you're good at it. And you know, I know we don't say much to you on the field. We're trying to organize this chaos in a short period of time. And it's not perfect. It's, like I said, it's chaotic, and it's a lot of work. But somehow it gets done. And a lot of that credit, other than the RBI staff, goes to you parents and you players that kind of just do what we ask and help whenever we need help. And you know, I can't express my gratitude enough to all of you guys that help us do that, because there are many of you. And I hope, you know, like Ken said, we had a really tough loss out at Minnesota. It was the second time we lost on that field in the quarterfinals. It was like Groundhog Day to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, not again. But I'll tell you what, we had, to me, as I look at it objectively, we had the most talented team there, I thought, as far as our abilities. We may have fell short from game to game with hitting, but I'll tell you what, we asked those guys in that game, because we knew that was probably the best team we were going to face, and it ended up being they won the championship. We said, leave it out on the field, guys. And in the bottom of the seventh, we were down, I think, 3-1. Those guys never quit. And they kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And so you could almost taste it. And then, you know, baseball is baseball. It didn't happen for us. And it was a really heartbreaking loss for everybody, for the fans. There was emotions flying around. And it was really difficult. And I got those guys together, and you could see it in their eyes, you know, the coaches, the players, the parents. And I just said to the guys, I said, guys, I know like moral victories aren't what we went there for, but everyone on that field knew that we knew how to play baseball and that those kids played their hearts out. And they could always hold their heads high about their effort. We fell short. And then like Coach Addick said, I'm thinking on the way home on the bus, like, you know, this has some potential to explode when we get back to the hotel. So when we got back there, before we got off the bus, I had all the guys sit back down. I said, I just want to say a few more things. I said to the kids, I said, you know, this is one of those moments in life where boys become men. I said, it hurts really bad. I said, but what you do from here as we go into that hotel room is going to define who you are and who you're going to become as a person and a man. I said, you got two options. You can go in and you can get angry and bust some things up or just have a bad attitude the rest of the time, or you can pull yourselves together and decide you want to be that guy that does not do that. And I said, and I've said this to my son on occasion, I said, life does not begin and end with baseball, but it sure is a good place to learn about it. And that's why I love this game, is that you can do that on the field. And I just happen to be fortunate enough to coach with some guys throughout our youth baseball experience with our kids that want to win, want to teach good baseball, but more than that, they want to develop good young men to become leaders in society and in whatever fields they go to, or college, or for the rest of their lives. And that's what I really love about coaching with some of these players, and in particular this RBI program. Now, if you give me a few more, just one indulgence here about my own personal son. Sorry. I'll end with this. I'll end with this. So far I haven't cried, so we're good. I got one of the two conquered here. I haven't coached my son because I want him to play, because I'm on the team, or because I have control. I coach because I love the game, and Josh picked this game up as a youth, and that's basically the only sport he played. And we've kind of done it together. And he's been through some stuff. You know, he's a good athlete, but he's not the best athlete. I never was, but he's a great baseball player, and he studies the game. And I remember on a field one day at the teener level when we were 13, I said, he's left-handed. Like, he's gonna play in the outfield or be a pitcher or both, but that's it. I said, Josh, I said, I know you like infield, I know you like the pitch. I said, but we need to work in the outfield. And he did that, and he did it, and he did it, and he did it. And when we were at the World Series, a young kid came in and sat. We were right behind the dugout, Ken and I. And a little kid and his dad came in, and he had his glove there. And we were just, he'd just come and watch the game. So, don't you know, a foul ball goes up. So Ken and I go up, and we're like reaching for the ball, and all of a sudden this kid just stands up, a matter of fact, pow, snags this ball out of the air. And he did it like with some skill. It wasn't just luck. He did it purposely. So we're sitting there, and finally the dad said to me, hey, what do you guys do? I said, well, we coach the junior team. So we're just here supporting our senior team. And the dad said, well, yeah, he asked Ken if the pitcher was good. So we would put a little more pressure on Anthony. So anyway, he said, well, do you have a son? I said, yeah, he's playing right field. And Josh was fortunate enough that I didn't see all of his games, but we saw a little bit, but we were watching him that day. And he had, of all the things we taught him, bases were loaded, 2 outs, and I'm not sure what the score was at the time. It might have been, was it tied? It was tied. So bases loaded, 2 outs, and a left-hander hits a ball between a first baseman and second baseman. Not a hard, sharp line drive, but a ball that was diving. And I always taught Josh, and I try to teach all our players. I said, you got to know your limits in practice. I said, because if you get into a game and you don't know how far you have to come in for the ball, I said, you never know. You're never going to know. I said, a lot of times you can get that ball. So the ball's dying. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's either going to be the hero or the GOAT. And I'm like, I'm standing there, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And he kept coming. And like he told the guy on the major league, he said, well, it was kind of like a half dive, half slide, so I just kind of fell down. But he kept the ball, and it was great. And when he came in, it was so great. I mean, this is just one microsecond of a game that's my son, but I mean the whole team, it was like that the whole tournament. Player after player kept making plays. And the kid's dad, after all the excitement, he looked up at me and he said, I bet that makes you feel good as a dad, doesn't it? I said, you know what? I said, that was probably the best moment of my coaching career with my son. And, and he had some adversity in the last couple of years of high school, where he wasn't playing as much as he initially was. And I'm like, Josh, just keep playing hard, practice hard. I said, things will happen for you. You just got to keep doing it. And I'm like, man, I hope something happens that he can believe me, so sorry. All right, I'm done. But anyway, just keep plugging, guys. I'm so proud of all you guys, and it's been a great ride.
I hope I don't take as long as Coach Doug did, but, I got probably a million things to say. First of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity to be here with everybody, and, glad everybody can make it. Second of all, I'm very happy to see, finally Aaron being able to, hoist up the trophy out there after all the hard work he's done over the years, starting from Little League baseball, bringing it back all the way up to this point. And, I think he deserves a lot, for that. And that was a big thing for me. It almost brought tears in my eyes to see him hold that trophy up, because I'm around him all the time, and I see him putting a lot of hard work in, and that was real special. And other than myself, I think he's one of the hardest working men in our area, So, so when I can understand when he's saying, got to call you back, I got to do this, because I'm like that sometimes when he called me, so I understand how it is. But other than that, the experience, this one was very humbling for me because of, number one, we build great relationships with the young men that we coach, but also through the tough times, which Coach talked about. And the man I am, I don't mind saying, hey, you know, I could have did some things better, and present that to the children after the fact to say, hey, men do this sometimes. Men make mistakes, but a real man always brings it back to the table and say, hey, I messed up. But what doesn't kill you always makes you stronger, as I always, you know, try to preach to young men and people, period. So in that case, it was some tough times in that bottom of that half of that inning they talked about, where it was coaching decisions that was made that probably hurt the team. And I was cool with that to the point where I could say to my young men, hey, that happens. But the thing about it all, it was the young men's response to it that really got me. Like, they was like, you know, a couple cried, and it was emotional, but a lot of them say, Coach, no problem. It happens, you know. And to myself, I'm like, nah, man, I really let y'all down. But they were so, I don't know. Yeah, they brought cookies to our room, like, hey, Coach, you know, we got your back. I know we said it already, but it was like a great experience. And one thing I want to thank the parents of those same children, that y'all really raised some real good children, man. And that's a good thing, because a lot of children would have just based it straight on baseball and said, man, that coach, like some parents did, but that's cool. You know what I mean? They made their mistakes as coaches and in life too, but it's not the mistake you made, it's what you do, when you bounce back. And best believe, I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to bounce back off of that. Don't worry. We will. I'm not going to stop coaching. I don't care what's going on, hopefully, until we bring that World Series championship back home as a junior team. So that's an inspiration. That's motivation for me. And, you know, that's how it goes. And like I said, I'm a man that no matter what happens, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'll be the first one to say that too. But I really enjoyed, you know, the experience with the young men, especially at that adversity. Because the real win in that, I guess, God wanted to really show us that, you know, sometimes you fall short, but you got to find something, true victory out of the whole situation, even though it might seem negative at first, as you sit back and you dwell on it, you think about it. And the true victory I got of it was, of course, it was a learning experience for me to thrive to be a better coach. But them young men, I said, wow, that's a great group. So once again, I want to thank y'all young men and everybody else that was involved. And, you know, I appreciate it.
All right, so I'll call the kids up. And like I said, I didn't eat my cookie, which probably surprises a bunch of people in this room, but I did not eat that cookie. I left it in the bag with the saying that they wrote on the outside. Okay, so I'll call the kids up. If you want to come up, grab your stuff and stay up here until we all come up. Hunter Breon. Andy Pineda, Quentin Hecker, Zach Sims. Oh, I don't go fast. Quentin Hecker. Zach Sims. Jake Pay. Dylan Spiegel. Dakota Quigley. Kevin Johnson. Is Kevin here? Kevin's not here. Never mind, scratch that. Kevin's not here. Dylan Pence. Kevin Johnson's not here. I thought he was. John Brubaker. Kyle Glauner? and Joey, Chris, my own. So the ones that were not here are Kyle Glauner, Kevin Johnson, Anthony Washington, Steve McInturf, and Christian Ciotti. That's it.
I promise this is only going to take this long. That's it. And it'll be monotone too. Good evening, RBI family. On behalf of myself and the softball side of our program, we'd like to congratulate the senior boys on their accomplishment of winning the World Series championship in Minnesota. Every time anyone visits the MLB RBI website, they will see the Harrisburg RBI name in the headlines because of you. Enjoy this night, guys. You deserve all the accolades that come your way forevermore. For the players coming back next year, keep the fire burning bright. The first one is a good start, but we all have plenty left in the tank moving forward. We wanted to be on the field at the University of Minnesota on the final day, but it wasn't meant to be. It was a huge disappointment to all of us, but it didn't deter what will be a more mature and more focused group of coaches and young ladies who will continue to pursue this goal we have, as well as shape, bend, and fold ourselves into the people we want to become. To the junior team and head coach Ken Addix and his staff, to the softball side and my staff, we're going to get this done as well. We're too good for this not to happen. Our players' commitment, hard work, and dedication to our program will land a few more championships and trophies in Aaron's lap, and that's a fact. From the softball side of the program, myself, my coaching staff, the committee members, and the parents couldn't be prouder of our girls for all the hard work you put in this past year. Just want to talk to you a little bit about what's involved on the softball side. I promise you won't take long. Potential candidates for the 2013 Regional and World Series team started a journey that began on September of 2012. And since that time, here's what happened in the progression of this team. 2 fall tournaments, a Christmas parade, community service leading into the holidays, 10 weeks of Sunday workouts running from January to the second week of March, skills clinics for the youth, more community service, all these events put on hold through the spring sports season. After that season, resuming community service, skills clinics, plus practices, playing 2 tournaments in both June and July leading into our Regional World Series in Minnesota. The players gelled into a young but very good team that formed bonds with each other, as well as the Harrisburg, as all of the Harrisburg teams do, which will last their lifetimes. We have all learned lessons along the way which will change and shape our lives in positive ways. All right, girls, when you hear your name, just come on forward. Right now, I'll congratulate Jasmine Yannick, who is going into her sophomore year at PSU Harrisburg, and will age out of the program. On behalf of the coaching staff, the players, and the RBI committee members, we appreciate and thank you for your commitment and your participation in our program. You'll be missed. I want to wish good luck to all our girls going into their freshman year in college. Megan Casella is going to Wilkes, Ruby Teffateller, Shepherd University, Kayla Seifert, PSU Harrisburg. Come on, Meg, you're the only one here tonight going to college. Give me a hug so I can keep rolling here. We all look forward to continually seeing our high school girls, Harrisburg's Justina Cruz, Morgan Chisholm, Kira Waters, Here is the only player who has been here from the start of the softball program. Also, Lexus Allen, if you didn't know, she threw a perfect game against St. Louis in the first round of eliminations. CD East, Nina Bruno, Aspen Colgrove, Antonise Mason. Susquehanna's Vanessa Hoffman. Middletown's Emily Mattis. Williams Valley's state championship pitcher, Cassidy Pinchorski. And East Pennsboro's Casey Sossaman is not here tonight. In closing, I want to thank Aaron and the entire RBI committee and helpers who have backed us with their ongoing support and have given these three teams the freedom to go and be successful groups. It's a comfortable feeling knowing we have this crew of people behind us, encouraging us and enabling us to do what we love to do. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call Aaron. No, we can't go this long without Aaron having something to say. All right, now 2 minutes.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be 2 minutes tonight. I'm gonna get you out of here. I gotta go to work 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, first and foremost, first I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Again, y'all gonna have to suck this up tonight. That's all I can tell you, because the night is a special night. It's a deserving night, and it's 20 years of what we've been doing here with Mo South. And the acronym of Mo South, some of y'all don't really know what it stands for, but it's everybody who actually played out in the Southeast League, was men of the Southeast League field. That's something that me and Mike Summers and Jeff Patterson and Sterl Pettis came up with the name, and that's what it actually stands for. So Bob Solomon's not here tonight, but he actually played in the Southeast. And there's quite a few people that actually played out there in South Harrisburg, and that's basically what the name stands for when we renovated the field. But again, this is a humbling experience for me, and I'm gonna go with my little cheat sheet, because logistically, how we get things done, it's a lot of people behind the scenes, and I'm telling you, that's why I said y'all got to bear with me tonight, because I gotta identify these people, because without them, none of this would be possible. You know, it's just not Aaron Johnson. I mean, I got some good people, man. Collectively, we get it done. I mean, we get it done, and we think about doing things in a big way, in a professional manner, and it's all about the kids. My kids are grown. They're 40 and 38 years old, so I don't have no babies, and they never benefited from anything from South Harrisburg, but I did. And you always hear me talk about them 4 people, and they're very dear to my heart, because, again, that's who molded me other than my parents. But them coaches was very important back then. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Harry Hamhafer, Boys and Girls Club, at that time just the Boys Club. He took care of everybody's kids. I mean, everybody. Vernon Street, that's where Ham grew up at. And Vince Hoke, I mean, I can name these guys that he took care of, that they always talked about Ham. But Ham, you talking about the RBI travel teams and all that. Ham did all that when we was at the Boys Club when we was kids. We used to go to Reading and Philly and all that back then. You know, Ham was a great man, colorblind. You know what I mean? He didn't know anything about color. He took care of young people. My little league coach, which I had 2, the first, unfortunately, I had Charles Hall, Mr. Charles Hall for Frontiers International, and I played that down in projects off of Cameron Street for Northeast League my first 2 years. Another guy that was very mild-mannered, you know what I'm saying, laid back. Then my Uncle Cecil, who ran Northeast League, you know, again, he was sort of like, his team was the Kiwanis Club back then. You know, they was like the New York Yankees. It was always against him and Ham's team. Ham had Exchange Club, and my Uncle Cecil had Kiwanis Club. They had like the 2 best teams in the city at that particular time. You know, back then, anybody from City of Harrisburg know that we had 6 leagues, and we had 6 teams, and each one of the leagues total of 36 teams. That's when baseball was at its finest, man. I mean, like, I never thought it would come to this point where it fell by the wayside, but you know, people like ourselves is trying to keep it going. And again, you know, you always hear me say, diversity, man. It's important, man. These young people are gonna be out there in the real world, and they're gonna need one another. You know what I'm saying? To this day, this very day, like I said, me and Bob Sullivan's paths crossed again. You know what I'm saying? We childhood friends. You know what I'm saying? So again, this baseball thing is more than just baseball. You know, so it's about building friendships, and this RBI program has definitely done that. Like I said, I'm gonna go off my cheat sheet because I'm gonna call some of these people up who are actually behind the scenes that makes this thing go. So hopefully ain't nobody moved my folder. I stuck it up here, and I got my real reading glasses on. Today, these not my cute glasses, these are real glasses. So I can see finally. Okay, when I call your name up here, I want you come up here and I can say basically a little something about everybody as you're walking up here. Okay, as far as our staff, as far as the RBI program, Michael Bowles. Michael Bowles is one of the photographers. If you can come up here, please, I appreciate it. We got Julie Newell, another one of that's our actually does all our press conferences and all that. Photographer, you know, always multitasking. Okay, we have Dawn Pence. Dawn Pence is she works at the house. You know, she works home, so I know I get on her nerves. You know, I know Dawn's not at work. She's at home, so she can go leave on a break when I call her. Doug Pence, that's Dawn's husband. Doug's a public works guy too, so he understands me very well. So me and him get along real well, so he knows what I'm up against. Angie Wiley, you know, that's our mistress of ceremony. Again, Angie multitasks, you know, a little bit everything. Maxie Wiley, photographer, little bit everything. Their daughter, Jamie Wiley. Okay, baseball operations, Dale Riley. Okay, and you know, Mike Summers is basically vice president of our organization, and you know, he multitasks and everything else. And his wife's over there. She wants him to get out of it so bad, but I'm gonna put her on the spot. You see what all these people think? Mike ain't going nowhere, but anyway. But and last but not least, I had to save her for last because a lot of people don't realize, you know what I mean? It's a lot of work that goes in this RBI program. I'm talking about I'm talking about paperwork. You know, paperwork, you always gonna have paperwork. You know, anything that we involved with is gonna be paperwork. It reminds me of the military, man. You got so much paperwork, the guys gotta signing your life away when you send that stuff up to MLB. And this year, I guess because the Harrisburg program having so much success, and we are small, you know, like a mom and pop store, and we playing against some giants, and we started having all the success, especially with the girls softball team. I mean, they 3 in a row, and we knocked off Philly. Philly used to be the team to beat. So again, you got to understand that Philadelphia, which they getting a brand new baseball academy down there, state of the art. You know what I mean? So Major League Baseball pouring a lot of money into that program. And, you know, with that, they want you to be winning. So that ain't the case no more. They got to come through Harrisburg now. So, and I don't think they're too happy about that. But nevertheless, you know, this year they had a microscope on us. I mean, they changed the plan. I think we the one to set this new rule about, you know, they just checking everything, you know. And again, and we haven't lied about anything. I mean, like I always said, you know, we have to build the program inside out. You know, that's why we go around the surrounding area to create a winning atmosphere. And winning atmosphere is going to bring, you know, these young kids that's coming through the program, they want to take part in this. I mean, you know, winning brings a lot of things. We know that. If you're not winning, you know, it's hard to sell what you're trying to sell. But, you know, it was very hard this year. It was very challenging. And this young lady, you know, I mean, she worked endless hours, put a lot of time in this, man. I mean, like, coaches don't make it easy, you know. I get chewed out from her because the coach is not done. I said, call them. No, what you know, chewing me out for, you know? call them. You know, she won't. You know, she talks to them nice. She don't talk to me nice all the time. But you know, it's a lot of work that goes in this, like I said. But and we've been hosting this for 3 years. You know, and with being the host, it puts an added pressure. You know what I mean? But at this time, I'd just like to call, you know, Dawn Reeves up, because there's a lot of work that she put into this. So, unfortunately, you know, we had to throw this banquet together real fast. You know, we got back, you know, with everything going on. And my vendor, you know, if you don't know, I like things to be right. The things that I was going to give to them, it wasn't right, so I wasn't going to accept it. So I can pretty much just show you what we was going to give them, and now I got to go door to door. I thought this work would be over, but basically it's our polos with the RBI logo and got Harrisburg on them. You know, the guys, you know, get hats. Some of them already got hats. They ain't getting another hat, but they already got hats. They know I know who they are, so they ain't getting another. That's what they was going to get. Unfortunately, I couldn't take them, so they had to be right, and I'll make sure that they get them. But for Dawn, you know, I talked to some of the coaches and stuff. I think she's going on a trip with her girlfriends. I think the Mack family. So we're gonna help her out to pay half of it. I didn't say all of it. Everybody heard me say half of it. So she won't have to, you know, foot the whole bill, because she put a lot of work in it, though. Seriously, she really has. So again, you know, he's the backbone of you know, the RBI program, and they done an exceptional job of hosting it, and I mean, just everything that we do for cleaning the young ladies, young men's uniforms, everything, man. It's a lot of work into it. I mean, I know they hate to see me coming sometime, you know, but it's all love, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And like I said, I'll make sure you get your shirts. I know Dawn Pence will call me every day till she get hers. So you gotta wait till I get them, Dawn. All right, so let's give them a round of applause. Yeah. Y'all take a picture? Hey, our umpiring crew. Okay, our umpiring crew. These guys always been there for me. I'm talking about as far as our little league, because we don't have many umpires. A lot of us have to get out there. You know, myself and another individual, I'll call up and let you know who he is. Get out there and ump these games, but this umpiring, I mean, they really be there for me. You know what I mean? We get it done with minimum participation. I can't speak on them enough. You know, they know I love them. You know, the one individual been there the whole 20 years with us. And I just want to call them up here and just, you know, thank them and just let them be recognized for the job they have done, you know, over the 20 years. And that's Chris Quilley, Tony Stern, and Denson Wilson's not here, but if you please come up here, I really appreciate it. Real quick, like with what happened on a Sunday, we was playing. I guess that was Prince. What was that? No, Prince George in Pittsburgh was playing. That was a 9 o'clock game because we got caught in that bad rainstorm. So I'm sitting up here. You know, that was a championship day. Then we playing down in Lancaster, the junior and senior team. So I said, well, let me go by CD East to see if everything's okay. So I got Kenny with me, Nutty Kenny's with me, so y'all don't know Nutty Kenny, but Kenny drive me crazy in the truck. So I said, Kenny, I said, man, I'm going to CD East. man, everything's all right. We got to get down in Lancaster. I said, nah, let me go by CDs to make sure everything okay. So once I get there, I'm looking, and I'm saying, well, I don't see no umpire. So I said, maybe they down there. So as I'm walking towards the field, I'm like, wow, what's going on? Ain't no umpire. So they came up to me and said, no, we ain't got no umpire. So Charlie from Pittsburgh, you know, Charlie can be a little radical, you know what I mean? So I called the head ump. I said, man, just tell me I'm dreaming. The umpire is sitting in the parking lot. He said, hey, Aaron, I'm in church. And didn't nobody tell me nothing about this 9 o'clock game. I said, what? You know, I said more than that, but so, you know, I'm a military guy, so I had to, you know, think outside the box real quick. So I got on it, you know, I'm always on the cell phone. I'm glad it wasn't dead, because I jumped on that real fast. And so I'm calling Q, you know, and saying, I ain't getting no answer, you know. So I said, wow. I said, I know it's church and everything. So Charlie hooting and hollering from Pittsburgh, so I called Don before. I said, Don, you up? I said, look, you gotta run over Q's house and bang on his door, because I know he in there, and let him know he gotta ump this game. I didn't know if he's going to church. I didn't care at that particular time. I know that he's gonna have to come to see these and ump this game, right? So she got over there and got him, right? So then at that time, she said, yeah, I got him. So Q was coming out there. So then I needed another ump, right? So I said, man, I called Mike. You know, I said, hey, Mike, hey, man, you want to come out here and ump this game? We got a problem. So I said, So Mike had, what y'all don't realize, Mike started a riot over there at the Armory Field, our 7 to 8-year-olds. I said, oh my God, I said, I can't have no riot at this MLB thing, right? So I said, okay, Mike, I'm gonna call you back. So I had Mike on hold. So I said, let me call Sean. Kelly answered the phone, and I said, Kelly, I said, where's Sean? He in the shower. I said, well, tell him to get out the shower, because he got to answer this phone, right? I said, look, man, you got to come out here and ump right now. Just get your stuff. Come on out here right now, right? Man, they got out there, you know, but make a long story short, that's the kind of guys that we got, man. I mean, like, it's just a commitment. I mean, like, you know, you just can't find that anywhere, you know what I mean? We was in hot water, backed the game up. They wasn't happy about it. Prince George thought, you know, they said, yeah, you know, they changed it a couple times because I had to change the umps down in Lancaster saying, could you stay longer? End up paying them more, but that was okay. But then once Prince George had to leave, they tried to say, oh, we're going to stay at the same start time. And it didn't pay off to them. But again, you know, I got you. Well, y'all do get hats. I can tell you that right now. So, but you get your polo. They'll make sure that you get it. Again, he'll call every 5 minutes too. So, but again, man, just get umpires a round of applause and hanging in there with them.
That's the first time I'm going to talk to. Umpires don't get clapped for. I'd rather hear the boo.
All right. Okay, the grounds crew. The grounds crew. We all know that I can't call him up here because he's on another mission right now. But CD East, you know who CD East ground main guy is out there. That's Chuck Fackler. You know what I mean. He I don't even want to talk about the grounds crew, but you know how CD East field looks. So he outstanding guy. My son Brian just got him on walking on water. You know what I'm saying. So. Again, Chuck, hey, I thank you, man, for you know, the 3 years that we've been doing it out there, CDs. You know, beautiful facility, and you know what I mean. Everybody who came out there said the same thing. So again, you got to come up there with the team. So you sit right there. Okay, Susquehanna Parks and Rec. So I want to call Craig up here and Jimmy if he's still here. Yeah, these guys right here, man, they've been with us the whole 3 years. Okay, and I want to call Mike Washington up here. Mike Washington is a part of Mo South, and you know, I pull him out of work. Mike actually works for me, but Mike be multitasking too. Like I said, Mike was umping the 7 and 8-year-olds. You know, Mike's no nonsense man, but he started a whole riot over there at the field. You know what I mean? so I had him on standby with the umpire duties. But these guys right here, you know, we had inclement weather. You remember that? These guys got this field together, man. They did their thing, man. You know, it was a lot of hard work, and it was dedicated, man. Like I said, I got your stuff. As soon as I get it, I run over to your shop and everything. All right, Mike already got a hat. He's not getting a hat. All right. So again, give these guys a round of applause, please. Yeah. All right. Now you know the next crew I'm calling up here. They very important. You know, the scorekeepers. You know, because it's controversy. You know, and I had some good ones. I mean, they know their stuff. They know how to keep that book, and I don't have to worry about nobody distracting them and stuff because they all business. Like to call Bob Bush and his wife up here. I want to call Kelly Wilson up here. Yeah, they hung in there 3 years, you know, and they couldn't come outside. Well, Bob is like, you know, I ain't allowed them to come out of the in the shed down there. Since let's get in the middle school, you know, they got the little score box up there. I know they had to be running. They had their own fan and everything up there, but they had plenty of ice and water and everything. But again, and she's a registered nurse anyway, so she all right. She can take care of herself, so I wasn't worried about that. But again, the dedication, you know, I appreciate you. Then when we had championship games, they always came down there. Sean, I'll bring him up here later, but they did the little play-by-play and everything. And Kelly's been a part of the program, most of our program, the whole 20 years. And I don't know what we're playing on the weekday. I think she might have took off work, but I'm not paying her salary, so she already know that. But she didn't want to go to work anyway. That was the excuse. But them the scorekeepers, and Mike Stepp's brother's not here. He's not here. Herb, he's not here. And again, you know, he did all the girls softball. So again, I want to congratulate them. I thank you very, very much. You get a hat and shirt too, Bob. You get a jersey. Kelly, you get a jersey too. You ain't get no hat. All right. Now, my shipping and receiving crew. All right, this time I'm gonna call Donnie Sample up here and Janet Wiseman. Okay, come on, Janet, walk like you do at the baseball field. All right, Janet. Everybody know Janet. Some of y'all see Janet, y'all get to running. You know how Janet is. Y'all know y'all get to running, but. You know, me and Janet understand each other. We be pacing at the field and the whole 9 yards. But I'm going to tell you something. You couldn't have a better person than Janet when you want to get stuff done. I mean, she ain't got no problem with asking somebody. We out in Minnesota, but you would think she lived out there in Minneapolis. I mean, she had everything down for me and my mom. I'm telling you, we had a ride everywhere. Whatever we want, she already had it set up. My mom loved it. She hated the fact that Janet wasn't out there this year. I said, well, you paid for Janet to get out there. You wanted to be out there. Yeah. Then she stopped talking. Then I talked to Janet on the phone. I said, yeah, I bet you will. So, but yeah, Janet, man, Janet is a God sent the whole 9 yards as far as like, you know, getting stuff done. She really is. And Mike, you know, Mike has her on all kinds of missions and stuff, you know, as far as like getting the girl stuff packed and everything. And that's what she did again this year, you know what I mean? Getting that stuff packed. When Mike called her and said, hey, man, I need you to come over here and take care of this. And that's what she did. And she does all kinds of other stuff. With Donnie this year, you know, his company, you know, paid for the stuff being shipped out there to Minneapolis to and from, and it's expensive. Yeah, and we really appreciate that. That saved us a whole lot of heartache, and this year we got everything back on time, because last year we didn't get the junior stuff back until, man, we was going through it with UPS, and Mike Miller back there, he worked for UPS. I had them searching high and low for for our junior and senior stuff. So we didn't have that issue this year. But Donnie, again, man, I appreciate that. Let me see if I got my plaque up there for you. Yeah, well, I got you up here. All right. Okay, this is your plaque to give to your boss, man. Appreciate you, man. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Now, I got a couple of special presentations, and you know I'm saving the best for last. The senior baseball teams, the world champs, so we're gonna do them last. I got some special awards. I got two of them to two individuals that you know, some of us know very well, and that personally mean a lot to me. And again, we had a little screw up in far as, because you know, you're doing a lot of awards and everything. You know, who does our awards is Inks Trophies, which Todd over there does a great job. But sometimes I can go in there at the last minute when I come up with these wild ideas, and we just had our signals crossed as far as what I wanted. So when you come up and get these awards, I want them back, because he's gonna have to give me what I actually wanted. So you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean some things on there is right, but not the size. Todd thought something else, and I told him, I said, yeah, well, just know I'm gonna deduct that off the invoice. So, but we have two, you know, like I said, two awards that we giving out to two deserving individuals. One's not here, and the first one is Sherman C. Cunningham Academic Athletic Excellent Award. And I'm gonna ask Dawn Reed to come up here and read what the individual had to say, because he couldn't be here.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't be in attendance tonight. I am in school and I couldn't miss work. However, it is truly an honor to accept this token of appreciation from such an amazing organization. I became a part of MoSelf when I was 4 years old, playing T-ball for Spotlight Video, and I grew immediately through Pony, Little League, Teener League, and ultimately the RBI tournament. This program has been a part of me for as long as I can remember, teaching me a myriad of values such as leadership, responsibility, sportsmanship, and a pure hunger to succeed in life. Currently, I am a junior at Temple University studying biology in hopes of getting into pharmacy school next fall. With the support of this baseball family and the lessons learned through being a part of this program, I will continue to strive to be the best young man and role model that I can be. What started off as a small group of players from different parts of Harrisburg trying to get some extra innings has grown to a championship caliber organization. The feeling is surreal, seeing that only after a few short years of starting teams are already building everlasting bonds with one another, learning the game, and bringing home championships. On behalf of the 2009 RBI team, I want to congratulate the 2013 team in your great accomplishment. With loads of help from MoSelf and the RBI, we were granted the opportunity to open the door, and every team after us has upheld the tradition and continued to pave the road in becoming extremely gifted student athletes. Again, thank you, Mr. Aaron Johnson, Mr. Sean Wilson, and Chief Martin for all the time and effort that you'll put into the community, for being positive role models in my life, and for bringing together this amazing group of young men and women. I hope and pray that there will be many more touched lives and championships for many years to come. Trent Gray, Jr.
His mom's here. Can you call her out? Can you call her out?
At this time, I want to call, is Miss Yvonne Holland still here? She left? Okay. All right, she was going to represent the Boys and Girls Club. Okay, at this time, I want to call Dana up here, Trent's mother. All right, so you know I'm getting it back, because it's the smaller version. It's supposed to have been bigger. All right. Oh, you want to take a picture? All right. You want to say something? Go ahead and say something.
I just want to say thank you, and I'm sure Trent is proud of each and every one of you.
Dana's real modest, but let me tell you about Trent. Trent's he's gonna be a pharmacist. That's basically what he's being modest about. He's gonna get into pharmacy school. He's gonna get into pharmacy school. He's just like I said. He's finishing up down there at Temple, and again, anybody that knows Trent, Trent jokes and all that, but Trent's extremely intelligent. He's smart as can be. I mean. Yeah, he's something. He's one heck of a young man, you know what I mean, and very proud of him and everything. And what he wanted me to say too about George Stevenson, which we lost him, he forgot to put that in there, but that was his Little League coach, and he wanted me to mention that how much George Stevenson meant to him. So again, I'm very proud of Trent and everything. And again, you can hear what he said about the friendships that he actually met. Playing RBI, and them guys do the Twitter thing and all that, and that's good. And like I said, it's working. That's what this is about. Okay, our next award is I always say Trina, but this here is just a personal friend of the family's, and her mother's here, and her two sons is here. Again, if you didn't know, we dedicated our softball season to Trina. We had her number 8 on her shirt. That's why we was wearing purple. You can see the young lady got purple T-shirts for domestic violence. So again, we fell a little short out there. The young ladies lost 1-0. It's just one of those things where you hit the ball to the fielders out there. And again, Chief Martin says it all the time. It just wasn't our time. That's all. But we were definitely getting there. But Trina was a good person. She was an outstanding athlete, great teacher, great mother, the whole 9 yards. The young lady that I selected for this, Trina would have loved to have been a part of this program because the type of athlete she was and the hunger, man, she just was, she was something, And, I just thought about it, if she was here and she could have been a part of this, she would have loved this young lady that actually coached her, you know what I mean? Because she reminds me of her so much out there on that field, and again, for our softball team, she was the cornerstone. We started 3 years ago, and Mike built the team around her. I mean, it's just that simple, and she stepped up to the plate, and again, that remarkable win we had against Atlanta last year, just sends chills. And at this time, and she's representing her college very well up there. And at this time, I like to call Miss Karen Fields up here, and 2 boys of trainers. And I want to call Des Mangus up here, and coach. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call Teller Wiseman up here. Give it to her.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Sure, why not? Thanks. You get a speech. Thanks, Aaron. I'd like to thank everyone in this program. Honestly, it's been one ride for me. To this day, it still sucks not being able to play. You have no idea. When you guys won last RBI regional championship, I bawled my eyes out. You can ask all the parents. Like, I was crying more than you guys were. I'm like, oh my God, I can't go. Like, what? But it's been awesome. I want to thank everyone in this program. Coach Stepp, my second dad. Like, it's been there since day one from East High. It sucks not playing for you anymore. It does. It really does. Oh, but thanks to everyone, all the girls. It was awesome being here. Hopefully next year I get to coach you. Just beware. Coming. All right. Thank you, everyone.
You can't take it home. It's the wrong side.
You need the wrong size. It's my name's on it.
No, it's a bigger one.
Oh.
You want to say something?
I just want to thank Aaron, Des, Marcy, the coaching staff, and all of you for supporting Tarina, remembering her. Softball was her game, so those of you who know her, she came running home one day and said, "Mom, I found my game." And she took off from there. So I want to thank you for remembering her. It's a sad thing to remember about domestic violence, but one thing you can remember is love conquers everything. And this room is filled with love and a lot of hope and strength. Keep it going, because you're winners, and I thank you.
Thank you.
I finished telling the story. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to finish telling some of the stories that happened in Minnesota, especially when the girls wore the domestic violence awareness uniforms. Ms. Dawn Reeves had sent them the information out there, but it was obviously they didn't pass it around. So when we, Mike Stepp even told me to bring some extra paperwork there just in case something happened. And that's what happened. They didn't hand out the paperwork. So when the girls finally wore the domestic violence uniforms, it was like a big uproar. You know, why Harrisburg has wearing purple uniforms? And then I had to go, you know, get the papers out and redistribute them, and you know, and I said, we gave you this stuff, you know, but y'all just ain't passing it around. But anyways, the girls, parents of these girls, our girls represented so hard. They played so hard. They represented domestic violence everywhere so hard. That whole week, it was just incredible. It was incredible. And seeing Miss Fields here, you know, today, if she was there, she'd have been very, very proud. She'd have been very proud of her girls, her coaches, and the way they just represented Harrisburg. I'm not just saying just because they had the uniforms on, but just the way they represented Harrisburg, period. Period. It was just so satisfying. I mean, this is the best group of girls that I've ever worked with for the 3 years that we had this team. This was the best bunch. Although we fell short, played one bad game, we fell short, but the effort was there, and them girls played their hearts out. Thank you.
Okay, and with those uniforms, I'd like to call up at this time Mr. Eddie Ruth and Howard Tires. Well, ladies, these two gentlemen are the ones who actually purchased your uniforms.
Thank you, sir. You don't have to give these back, do you? No, these are right.
Yeah, you don't have to get these back.
Okay.
They are right. Actually, Eddie and what's your name again? I always want to call you Howard. Paul. Paul's actually Howard's son. They actually purchased the uniforms for cancer awareness, the pink ones that we wore last year. I got so caught up, I forgot to say thank you to them, and I wanted to do it properly because, you know, it's hard to get somebody to sponsor anything, and they did it willingly, and I just wanted them to see exactly where their money was actually going, and they can see how much it means to this program. But I've been knowing Eddie for a long time, a successful businessman in Harrisburg. If anybody would go to the prom, I'm gonna give him a little, you know, a commercial here. You want to go down to Eddie's men's shop down there on Market Street. Amen. Okay? All right. Now, I think Howard Tire still fix free flats. I don't know. Am I telling the truth, Paul? Okay. He's down on Cameron Street. Well, his furniture store in the Howard Tire is across the street on Cameron Street there. Okay. All right. Okay, but again, I want to thank them very, very much. Okay? Let's give them a round of applause.
I would just like to say I'm very surprised of all the accolades I hear here tonight of what's going on with the baseball team. I'm from a wrestling family. My son wrestled for Penn State, but I didn't know so much going on with Harrisburg baseball team, and I'm very proud of Aaron and all the work he's done with this team, because I don't know if you remember, I think when you first started the team, we supported you for 10, 15, you started 20 years ago, but we supported him some time ago. And to see him come all the way to the national championship, I tip my hat to him and his organization.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay, this next young man, you know, he was on the RBI team, and you know, he thought I probably forgot about him when he found out that I kind of like retired some of them guys' Little League shirts. Basically, we giving them their shirts. We ain't retired their number. They wasn't that good, but anyway. we giving them their shirts because everybody asked me, what you doing retiring their shirts? Well, you know I got to go 1 through 15. I ain't jumping, you know, 25 and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, he thought I probably forgot about him, but I was kind of like saving the best for last. He was actually Chief Martin's, I'm going to say his first draft pick, and that was his cornerstone, you know. And it might be the last guy that we had on the senior team with speed, because we've been getting thrown out going down in them bases. But anyway, I mean real speed. This guy had blazing speed, played for McDevitt football team, ran a couple kickoffs back, the whole 9 yards. He played for us, you know, Little League and everything, and, you know, went on and did other great things. And I'm just very proud of him. And again, we didn't forget about you. And I just was, like I say, saving the best for last. And like this victory for the senior team, it's for everybody, man. I mean, like I just been getting phone calls and all that. I get texts, but everybody said, "Why you didn't text me back?" I don't text, so if you wonder why you didn't get no, I text you. I said, "Yeah, you did, but you didn't get no text from me. You gotta call me." So, but I want to call DeJuan Smith up here. Chief Martin still here, a duty call. You know, he ran out of here, didn't he? Where you at, Chief Martin? Come on up here. You know, he always trying to throw a net over somebody. I gotta keep him in there. Okay. Here you go, Chief. Go ahead and say something about your #1 draft choice.
DeJuan is my #1 draft choice. Played for me in Susquehanna Township Legion. If you've watched him play football when he played for McDevitt, then you had a thrill. There's no question. Lives in Susquehanna Township. I love this young man as much as I love Trent Gray, Robbie Chase, Jeff Baltimore, Ray Burnett. All of these young men have made me a better man. I've been enriched by being around these young guys. And DeJuan, it's great to be here. It's good to see you, my friend. And congratulations, and I love you very much.
Yep. Well, I just want to say thank you to Chief Martin and Coach Aaron Johnson, and to the 2013. Man, it felt like I won it. I remember when we first started, didn't know anybody, and we grew to be brothers, and I still talk to them till this day. Go see him. People who live in Newport. I travel up there. They're my brothers now. We made a bond. We went through things together that we should never have went through, but we felt like winners at the end of the day, and I feel like a winner today. Thank you.
All right, moving right along. This next guy, I want to get him on out of the way, and I got these individual trophies, then we go ahead and get the senior team out and get you out of here. But this next guy, he's been around for 20 years, and he never say, I never give him nothing, but I'm tired of hearing that. We got him something this year, which I know I didn't gave him something. He got it in his closet somewhere. But I'm gonna ask Sean Wilson to come up here, please. Yeah, Sean Wilson actually runs our 7 to 8-year-old program. We've been together, he's been there the whole 20 years, and that's his wife Kelly, is brought up early. And like I said, I woke him, got him out of the shower, come on here, umpire and everything. He took the $50 though for the umpire. You normally give it back. He took that though. Yeah, he took that. Yeah, Mike, he took your $50. But I just wanted to bring him up here, man, how much I appreciate him. And we go through a whole lot and everything. And I told Chief Martin, I said, whatever you do, please get me a XXX, get me one of them jackets for him so I can make sure he's good to go. But he earned it, so I want to give you your jacket. You ain't gotta give it back. You wanna say something? Yeah. Why ain't say something, man? Oh, no.
Thank you, finally, for giving me something, Mr. Aaron Johnson. But also, I'd like to congratulate all 3 programs and the coaches. And even though I haven't been to Minnesota, I've been on the internet looking at everything, trying to figure out what the score is, because after the inning's over, it takes 10 minutes before it reboots. So I'm walking around pacing and trying to call him, and nobody answers, and you know. But anyway, well, you just heard him say he ain't giving no texts. But I remember when he first was talking about all this, I was like, RBI, what is that, you know? He got everybody involved. This is a good man. I hope y'all realize that by now. And it's also a great program. Even though the ones that's graduating, hopefully you still keep your hand involved here because we still need help. All right? Including the parents and the kids. Again, thank you.